What you see and what you're looking at right now is a father. And welcome to One Crack News. Didn't get a chance to say that. But what you're looking at is a father. A very frustrated father. He's frustrated because he cannot fathom or cannot understand why. Why someone would want to harm his child. And not just his child. Looking at the evidence, why did the police decided to shoot and harm his innocent child? So he got a chance to speak in front of the police officer who was on trial for murdering his son. And people love to write this as a black father, black kid. He's a father, period. He didn't have a gun. It was mistaken identity. Let's listen to the dad and hear it from his mouth.
As you see from the evidence, my son was not posing a threat. If you walked up from behind my son, usually gave him command, verbal command, drop the weapon. You shot him from the back, as y'all can all see. 3 times my son was shot, but that was wrong. My son was murdered by this officer, and that was cowardice. You shot a 21-year-old person running away from gunfire, never posed you a threat, never had nothing in his hand. Why did you shoot him? You can't explain that to me because that ain't training. That's cowardice. You a coward. But as you see from the evidence, my son was not posing a threat. If you walked up from behind my son, usually gave him command, verbal command, drop the weapon. You shot him from the back, as y'all can all see. 3 times my son was shot, but that was wrong. My son was murdered by this officer, and that was cowardice. You shot a 21-year-old person running away from gunfire, never posed you a threat, never had nothing in his hand. Why did you shoot him? You can't explain that to me because that ain't training. That's cowardice. You a coward.
And that's what he got to say to the police officer. Saying that the man was not armed, he was running away from the incident, and he was shot in the back. That was cowardly. And he called him a coward. Do you agree? Or if you do, take the time to go look up the evidence and see what happened. No, this is an American problem. This ain't a black problem. It ain't a white problem. It's an American problem. It's a problem with the police. Okay? The training. Some of these police officers need to be retooled, retrained, or fired. A lot of these so-called ex-Klansmen, where do you think they went? They got paying jobs now. So you already got a strike on your back for being in color. So they hate you already before they even see you. Some of these cops don't like people that look like him in their neighborhoods or in a neighborhood they don't think they should be in, which isn't the law. Pulling them over because they driving a car that they don't think they should be driving, which is against the law. In a place minding their own business that they don't think they should be, which is against the law. So they break the laws that they're supposed to protect and serve. So they break their oath. So they shouldn't be police officers. They was like, well, cops, it's a gray area. If it's a gray area, then crime is a gray area. Yeah, salute to you, Bullet. If that was your cousin, that shouldn't have happened. A lot of these people that died, it shouldn't have happened. This kid that was shot in the back, shouldn't have happened. I mean, when we was kids, we all ran from the police. We ain't even did nothing. We just ran. That was just the norm, was to get out of the way. We don't know what's going on, but we don't want no parts of it. Get out of there. That's what you did. You got out of there. But this is an American problem. And I get tired of them saying, well, why don't Michael Jordan say something? Why does Michael Jordan have to say something? Why does it have to be a black athlete? Why don't Donald Trump say something? He the president of the United States. Right? Why don't you get Phil Mickelson to say something? Why don't you get Larry Bird to say something? Not to say these people don't care. I'm not trying to single them out, but what I'm saying is they don't go to these white athletes. They're part of America too. This is an American problem. I don't see them saying nothing. Where they at?
As you see from the evidence, my son was not posing a threat. If you walked up from behind my son, you should have gave him command, verbal command, drop the weapon. You shot him from the back, as y'all can all see. 3 times my son was shot, but that was wrong. My son was murdered by this officer, and that was cowardice. You shot a 21-year-old person running away from gunfire, never posed you a threat, never had nothing in his hand. Why did you shoot him? You can't explain that to me because that ain't training. That's cowardice. You a coward.
Now, I have a police officer uncle, and his son, my cousin, has just become police officers. My uncle is a lieutenant of the police department. He taught me a lot about what a police officer is supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. My cousin has to take that oath. He had to take the same oath to serve and protect. But some police officers don't follow these rules. And it's strange to me how black police officers are policed by the police. They're looked at in their department as scapegoats. Whenever the Caucasian crooked cop do something wrong, The black cop got to go smooth it over. Well, them your people. They know your face. They don't like a black cop just as much as they don't like a white cop. But the black cop, you can go and smooth it over for a guy on the force who they might know is dirty. They got to circle the wagons and protect their own, like a gang. My uncle's trying to change that. He's trying to do better. And every day he's faced with a bad situation because he has to go in to a police department and go out on the streets knowing what the law enforcement is all about and knowing how hard they work in the community. And himself personally, listening to the people, trying to come up with ideas, get people involved in their communities. That's what he's trying to work and build in the infrastructure on how to fix your neighborhoods to stop the violence. But people do have jobs with that. But immediately if somebody gets accidentally shot or a bad shooting happens, that overshadows everything. Now all that work you've built has been knocked down. It's like building a building. You're almost to the top and somebody just knocked all the bricks down and you got to start building it again from the ground up. It gets frustrating. There's my uncle. There's his son, my cousin. A lieutenant. He's got his badge. So my uncle is a lieutenant. And he's out there trying to do what's right. But black police officers are held under a different standard. So it's not like, well, something's wrong. How come the cops? Because why is it always a white police officer that's shooting a black teenager or a black 21-some-year-old? Why is it always the white cop and the wrong shooting? This doesn't happen with black police officers. We take certain precautions. Do you know why that is? Because we already know the ramifications are different for us because of the color of our skin. We're not going to get that fair trial. We're not going to get that they're going to rally behind us. Oh, no, they know a wrongful shooting, he's going to get charged for manslaughter. He might be doing 10 years in jail. No pension, no nothing. So they're really precautious about pulling their gun and shooting anybody. But I'm proud that I have some family members who are brave enough to take the challenge to try to go in and fix the community. They will try to tear down and destroy anybody. Now they want you to believe all cops are bad. All cops aren't bad. You got to remember, there are criminals out there. Their job is to arrest and take down criminals. Yes, there will be some bad shootings, unfortunately. You try to reduce that, like I said, with the cams. Now cops are required to wear the cameras on their vests, and that is a way to cut down on everything. Now you have more lack of privacy, but doing stops, your camera's got to be on. If it's not on, you're going to be suspended. If you got technical problems with your camera, you can't pull anybody over. You need to go back to the station and get a working camera. I have been a victim of unlawful stops, harassment by police officers because my car had rims. My car wasn't even a car that you would even put in that category, but it just had some 14s. I had some little 14 Daytons. No, not Daytons, Wishbones rims on the car. And because I had some 14s, Daytons on the car, Wishbones, they thought it'd be a good idea to harass me every single day. I was pulled over 20-some times in 1 month. It was a month of April. I was pulled over like 20-some-odd times. Unnecessarily, running my plates. Racial profile. It was such a bad thing and such a huge thing at the time. If they would see a black man driving, you drive past them, they'd bust that U-turn, get right behind you and start following you. I've had that happen to me countless times. Countless. That's my cousin and my uncle. My uncle was a lieutenant for the Chicago Police Department. And that's his son. Yes, we have. We most definitely have. Well, thank you for that. I just wish that people were able to see the stream and get on that live stream. Since I got a Benz, I rarely get stopped. They apologize for stopping me because I got a Benz. But when you're in certain areas they don't think you should be, I mean, now it's different. But back in like the 90s and early 2000s, racial profiling was at an all-time high for motorists. But now with the camera phones, and you can record things now, that has kind of calmed down some. They really need a reason to pull you over. And if I break the law, I already know my uncle gonna take me down. I don't get no pass. You think I get it worse than the criminals? I'd rather not be locked up than to deal with my parents. They're gonna do great for the city of Chicago. So I'm very proud. My uncle got promoted. He's a lieutenant. And his son's just starting out as a cop now. He finished his training. Now he's ready for the streets. So if I break the law, I don't want to see them. I'll be like, well, we family though. He'd be like, yeah, I know. And it hurts me that you're in this situation. But anyway, I'm going to charge my phone. It's been wonderful talking to you guys. I'm out.